CQ Poda. Hey guys, Tango Oscar Mike. I just want to do a recap of the simulated emergency test that I participated in this weekend. I acted as net control for part of it, and another ham from our club took over net control duties for a little over an hour of the drill. The drill lasted 3 hours. I had 3 radios on. I had my Yaesu 857D. I had my Yaesu FT 8900R, which is a dual channel 2-meter radio, and I had my KX2. Well, I forgot to put this in the video, so I'm adding it in now. My solar panel setup during the SET drill, it worked great. According to my meters, I pulled in 7.1 amp hours. According to the other meter, with the 2 Raspberry Pis and 3 radios running and intermittent transmitting, I pulled 5.7 amp hours. So again, I don't think those meters are 100% accurate, but I think it's close enough to give me a good idea. But it was a bright and sunny day, so I was getting I think I even hit 3 amps input at one point, but usually when I looked at it, it was around 2. So that was plenty. I was using a 12 amp hour battery, so that 5.7, I think I said, amp hours, I could have run twice as long on that battery and been fine without any solar input at all, which is good to know. But because I had that solar input, it was 100% balanced. When I finished the event, I looked at the amp hours, the amps on the meter from the solar panel, and I was pulling almost no amps at all, and it was still bright and sunny out, which means the battery was fully charged. So the solar portion of it worked great. You can see the panel up there on the roof, and it was great for the solar. Back to the video. We passed digital traffic using NBEMS, which is the FL Digi, FL Message suite of software. We passed that over VHF, UHF, and also over HF to the regional command area. We had interoperability communication with several other counties in our area, which is great. It assures us that even if something were to go wrong, we can make contact. We did some simplex testing. Between switching net control duties, we kept a ICS 214 form filled out, which records the roster of everybody checking in, and I forwarded that over to the other gentleman whenever he took over, and then he sent it back, an updated one, whenever I took back over the net for the closing. It was a good event. We had 16 people check into our station, which is good. We had several club members. We had a couple of members that really went above and beyond. I'd like to thank K3SEM, KC3RN, and somebody else. So Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha. We didn't have quite as many people check in this time as we normally do, but it was Easter weekend, and it was also the first day of trout. Alpha Bravo 1 Alpha Mike, he actually checked in from the creek where he was fishing. So thanks to him. The signal wasn't great. We actually lost communications for him a little bit for a little while, but we did get it back. I did have some notes from this drill that I thought of. When we lost communication with Mike for a little bit, if that had been a real emergency, I didn't have the exact location. I knew what creek he was on and what township he was in, but I didn't have his exact location, like GPS coordinates. So it's not like I could send a rescue party there to look for him. So that's something that I would want to consider in the future, is maybe get GPS coordinates from that person. Say, hey, can you give me your exact, a landmark or an exact location in case something would happen. So that would be good. We're doing this all remote, so I was acting as net control and command and everything else, and trying to juggle UHF, VHF, HF voice and digital communications as well. So if this is a real emergency, or if it wasn't for COVID, we would try to get together and set up a command center where one person is assigned to handle UHF, VHF, 2-meter simplex, and another person to handle HF voice, another person to handle HF digital, and maybe another person to handle UHF, VHF digital, and maybe even another person to handle simplex. So it's just it's not the same when you're just trying to simulate it from home. It's good that everybody checks in, and hopefully for the fall drill, we always do a drill, one of these SET drills, simulated emergency tests, in the spring and in the fall. And hopefully in the fall we'll be able to get together, maybe use some of the county resources like the EOC, one of the command trucks, maybe set up a remote command center to actually test this all. But I think that would be great, and that's my goal, is to do something like that in the future. During the event, I kept a log of any communications. I would timestamp any communication, write down the specific information. We were taking accurate weather reports and simulated a traffic. I generated some traffic, shelter traffic. We had traffic generated for a Pennsylvania Fish Commission truck stuck in the river, and the person in danger of drowning. We did simulated traffic for that. We had traffic come in from other counties as well that we were able to handle and pass back and forth. So it was a great event, and I look forward to the fall event. If you're not in a club and you're not doing simulated emergency tests, please check your local ARES coordinator and find out. Different clubs in different parts of the country do their tests at different times of the year. But if you're interested, definitely check it out. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Tango Oscar Mike 73. Take care.
Tango Oscar Mike